It's a nice thing, though.
There we go. Please stand for salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Borough of Seabright, in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, has provided adequate notice of time, date, and location of this meeting to the Asbury Park Press, filed notice with the Borough Clerk, and posted notice in the Borough office and on the Borough website. This meeting is open to the public, and we welcome you all. Thank you for coming. Do we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Bieber.
Here.
Ms. Bills. Here. Mr. Cashmore is absent. Terry Cunningham.
Here.
Mr. Julia is absent. Vice Chairman DeSeo.
Yes.
Mayor Kelly is absent. Mr. Lawrence is absent. Mr. Lexine.
Here.
Mr. Schwartz. Mr. Zelina.
Here.
I'm going to jump ahead to the 16 via RIPA application. Will not be heard tonight. It has been withdrawn. 16 via RIPA is withdrawn completely. If they do reapply, they will have to renotice. On to the memorialization of the resolution for Paul Lodiando, 912 Ocean Avenue. Discussion?
I'll move the resolution.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Ms. Bills. Yes. Chairman Cunningham.
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeSeo.
I couldn't participate in that.
Oh, that's right, sorry. Mr. Lexine.
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz.
Yes.
And that is it.
Okay, on to Woody's Ocean Properties. Welcome aboard.
Good evening, everybody. Jennifer Krimko for the Law Firm of Ansel Grimm and Aaron, here on behalf of Woody's. As some of you may know,
Let me back up 1 minute. I was rushing along to try and get you guys going.
I appreciate it.
But we do need to approve the minutes from the October 10th, 2023 meeting. Was there any discussion on the minutes? If not, a motion.
Make a motion?
Second?
Second.
Second?
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Bieber.
Yes.
Ms. Bills. Yes. Chairman Cunningham.
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeSeo. Mr. Lexine.
Minutes?
I wasn't at that meeting.
Excuse me.
Okay.
That's the meeting I had to.
You're excused.
Yes, I'm present.
Mr. Schwartz
Yes.
is here, and Mr. Zelina.
Yes.
You can all go.
Thank you. You have the floor. My apologies.
No worries. I'm still Jennifer Krimko.
Wow.
And as some of you may, well, all of you know my client based on when I walked in here, the familiarity. He's the owner of Woody's, which is right next door. And as I'm sure you are aware, the council adopted an ordinance on September 6, 2022 to effectively sell to Woody's that small portion of land which he's been using as outdoor dining since COVID. And all we're looking to do here is a minor subdivision to separate that from the borough's larger parcel and annex it to our parcel. And as part of that, put up a pergola to allow for outdoor dining. Everything else will generally remain the same as it's been for the last 3 years, as far as number of employees, trash, and all of the different things of the operation. There'll be two distinct differences. One, we'll own the land under which our patrons are dining. And two, there will now be an expanded sidewalk with handicapped accessibility, which there is not there today. That's really the sum and substance. I just have a few additional exhibits to hand out. You have the ones to hand out. We put into use.
Yeah.
A1 will be in an aerial photo by Insight Engineering dated 9/6/23. A2 is a color rendered site plan, also by Insight with the same date. A3, which I'm sure you're all intimately familiar with, are two different versions of the outdoor dining that Woody's has had over the years. And then Mr. Hoder had asked in his letter for essentially a color rendered view of what it is we're proposing. And this is an artistic rendering. It's obviously not perfectly to scale, but it would give you the idea. And that is a 4 prepared by Deck Remodeling.
That's what it is.
And with all of that, I'd like to introduce Doug Welland. He's an engineer with Insight Engineering. I know you're familiar with Insight. I don't know that Doug has ever testified here, so I'd like to have him sworn in, have him take a moment to qualify himself, and then have him go through his testimony, which will primarily be to address the technical aspects of Mr. Hoder's letter.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear the testimony you already give here tonight to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
And please state your name and spell your last for the record.
Douglas Cleland, C-L-E-L-L-A-N-D.
And Doug, if you could just take a moment and qualify yourself as an expert in the field of engineering, and once they accept you, we'll jump right into your testimony.
Sure. So I am a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. I work for Insight Engineering, where I am a senior project manager. I have worked there, this is my 10th year coming up with Insight, and have worked on a variety of projects from single-family homes. to large-
Testified before board.
Yes,
purposes before.
about somewhere between 25 and 30.
And you also serve often sit as the zoning board engineer for the city of Asbury Park.
That is correct.
Without objection from board members, we'll accept your credentials. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doug, considering you're the expert, I'm going to hand it over to you and have the board walk through the project and reference exhibits.
So the first exhibit I'm going to reference is A1, I believe, which is the neighborhood aerial. Just to go over some of the basic property information. So one of the subject properties is Block 22, Lot 1, and that is known as 1 East Church Street. It contains 3,246 square feet, or approximately 0.075 acres. Just for the purposes of clarity, I'll call that the Woody's lot. The larger parcel involved in the subdivision is Block 23, Lot 1, which is owned by the Borough of Seabright and contains 606,904 square feet.
And essentially, that's all of this.
Correct, yeah, so the Woody's lot is down here in the middle. The larger Borough of Seabright lot is so big it doesn't even fit all on one page, but it extends further south here down the page. So
So the parking that's used as part of the Woody's operation is on the borough's lot and always has been.
that's correct, yes.
And the way we have the current setup for the outdoor dining, our outdoor dining is actually on the borough's lot.
It is, yes.
Okay. And so we're just proposing, so I'll let you go through what we're going to do.
Sure, no problem. So both properties are located in the central business B1 zone where restaurant is a permitted use. The Woody's lot is a rectangular shaped lot with frontage on East Church Street to the south, the borough property to the north and west, and commercially zoned residential use to the east. The area largely consists of commercial and residential use. There is a public beach access directly to our east, which includes a large public parking lot, which we were just discussing, and we'll talk more about that later. Just to summarize what we're here, so the applicant is seeking minor subdivision approval to relocate the lot line between the Woody's lot and the borough's property in order to allow conveyance of land from the borough to Woody's pursuant to the ordinance which Jennifer mentioned, adopted by the governing body on September 6, 2022. Then the applicant is seeking preliminary and final site plan approval on the resultant larger Woody's lot for the construction of a permanent outdoor seating area with a pergola in generally the same location where the temporary outdoor seating has existed on the borough's property for the last few years.
And just by way to explain it to the board, board, since it's not on the subdivision plan, and just so the board understands, the reason why the subdivision plan was prepared by Colliers and not by us is because the expense of having to survey that very large borough lot would have far exceeded our ability to go through this project, where Colliers is as the current borough engineer, I believe it is, right?
So we were able to track down the fact that Colliers performed the original survey of the larger borough property, and they were able to jump on board and provide the subdivision plan and not need to
They were
resurvey.
the prior.
Yeah, they were the prior borough attorney, borough engineer. They had all of the surveying, so it saved everybody a lot of time and money.
Yep.
And just, because it's not shown on theirs, but I know it is on ours, approximately how many feet from the face of our lot line are we purchasing?
So it's roughly 10 and a half feet, 10.42 by 55 and a half, so 576 square feet.
Okay. And that's really the sum and substance of the subdivision. And then with regard to the outdoor seating, what's that going to contain?
So
That area, what are we proposing to construct, I should say?
this up now. So this is 82, the site rendering prepared by Inside Engineering. So the proposed outdoor seating area will consist of a new concrete patio surrounded by full-height concrete curb, an ADA compliant sidewalk, safety bollards, planters, and covered by a 54-foot by 17-foot decorative pergola. As Jen mentioned, worth noting here that there are currently 7 picnic tables, 2 high tops, and 5 square tables located out there currently, which is in the public right-of-way. So this proposed subdivision and site plan will replace these existing items with a new enhanced outdoor seating area, which is fully within the Woody's property.
And we can commit that it's not possible to have more seating than what's previously been there. So however it's configured, it will be the same or less than what has been out there.
Correct. ADA compliant access is proposed to be maintained throughout the area and along the sidewalk in front, shown here in the exhibit.
Oh, and also we're relocating the sign. It's currently where the pergola is going to attach to the building. We're just lifting it above the pergola. And again, this is not to scale, but generally speaking, you can see how the sign is just being lifted up above. The same sign is going to be used. But as you can see, it was kind of rudimentally done, and then it was just kind of cut and pasted up there as opposed to how it would be in perspective.
Right.
Now, the current lot has a ton of nonconformities, which we don't need to go through them in any great length, but the lot depth is measured from East Church Street to the north. I'm sorry, lot depth is measured from, right, and so that's, okay.
Yes.
And so how is that changing then? Is it based on where it's measured?
Yeah, I think it's based on the midpoint of the lot. And since we are adding an additional 10.4 feet, it's not perfect parallel, so it increased ever so slightly.
Right. The front yard and rear yard setback don't change.
Correct?
The side yard doesn't change. The
Correct.
building coverage goes down. While it's still going to be non-conforming, it goes down because our lot's getting bigger. And the same thing with impervious coverage.
That's correct.
It's 100% now, and it'll be 100% in the proposed. We're not making any other changes to the building at all, right?
Correct. Will remain as is internally.
Okay, and no changes to the building utilities, everything else. This is really just a facelift for the outside.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, we're not changing any drainage patterns or anything else.
Yeah, the general drainage patterns will be maintained. Everything flows to the DOT system, ultimately to the Shrewsbury River, and we're not increasing any runoff to any adjoining properties of record, so the neighboring properties will be protected.
Okay, and we're not changing the number of employees. I've indicated the number of seats. So it doesn't change the parking requirement in any way, shape, or form. Correct?
That is correct, yes.
And we're not changing the refuse and recycling. And the only lighting change would be decorative string lighting within the pergola like you'd see at a residential home.
Correct, yeah. Refuse recycling occurs on East Church Street. That will continue to operate in that way. And as far as lighting and landscaping, pretty simple. Some planters are proposed around the perimeter. adjacent to the safety bollards.
And we didn't,
lighting.
right, and we didn't show them on the plan because they're not gonna be permanent. They're just going to be the movable type planters, and I'm sure that they may change seasonally depending on what whim the owner of the property may have for how to decorate it for the
The
season.
bollards are permanent. I think.
Bollards are permanent, of
Yes.
course. And we talked about relocating the sign, and we, don't need any outside agency approvals, with the exception of possibly just getting a letter of no interest from the county.
That's correct, yes. We have no frontage on the state line, so nothing needed.
Okay, and if the borough allows us to, and I'm certain that they will, allows us to, we'll be happy to work with them to have one of the parking spaces striped as an ADA accessible spot.
Yes, that was a suggestion in your board engineer's memo, and we'd be happy to work with the borough on providing an ADA accessible parking stall.
There was one previously.
Oh, well, remember that you weren't going to participate because you're not sworn in, so they can't hear you.
There was a turkey in their ear. It was moved. It was moved.
We'll
Would
work,
you like to swear him in?
No,
no. No, I wouldn't, Mr. Chair.
no, no.
Yeah, we'll work with the borough and whatever it is. We're happy to do that. So I think that addresses everything in your review letter, Dave, unless there's something that you think we missed.
Does the board want to know anything about the actual capacity of the whole place or not?
It's the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not changing it.
Okay. You talked about trash. Your trash is inside a room?
Why don't we have Chris swear in? Yeah, Chris swear in.
Swear away.
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
Chris, yeah, raise your right hand.
Do you swear the testimony you already gave here tonight to be the truth, the whole truth?
I certainly did.
And please state your name.
Christopher J. Wood.
What does the J stand for?
Sure.
Okay. Christopher J. Wood, could you, what was the question?
No, I got my answer. The trash is a
Question
recycling.
was, do you
Yes,
swear
recycling and the
to tell
garbage
the
are two
truth?
separate
That's the big
bays
one.
that are accessed by two, I don't know what you call them, French two doors.
doors, yeah.
2 doors. Yeah, 4 doors technically, right? Right. And they're sealed from the building.
Will you ever have walls or a front to this thing? Or
We are not allowed to by virtue of our contract with the borough.
Oh, okay.
So no,
And the roof is slats, which means you can rain through it?
no, the slots actually have remote control. They'll be able to,
Like louvers.
So you can close it?
they're fancy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's good.
You gotta let her answer a couple questions.
That's all right, I'm good.
Like prepped.
Okay. And the only other thing I think is that
You get
when
nervous
it's
when-
time, I'd like to see the deeds to review them.
Oh, that was my next question. Would you, I don't know that this might not be better to be done by plat as opposed to by deed, because, well, either way, someone's gonna either have to write the legal description for the very large lot. So if we do it by deed, we will definitely give you the deed, the Form deed for Ben to review and the legal descriptions for you to review.
Yes.
Or we may do it by plat. I guess we'll talk to copiers about that.
Ooh, yeah.
That brings up the only question I have. You're categorizing this as a subdivision. It's a subdivision of the borough of property.
Correct.
It's the borough
Is
subdivided.
this going to be left as a single lot, or is it
No,
going to be joined to the?
It can't be. It will, because it will be deeded to us, it will automatically be joined. We will be consolidating it with our lot.
Okay.
So there'll be no new lot numbers. It'll just be part of your lot,
Correct.
both lot one.
Which was why we call it Woody's lot and the borough's lot, because we call lot one, everyone's gonna be even more confused.
Why don't we open it to questions of the board before we open to the public? Anybody?
Not a question, Chairman, but as Jennifer said, there was a lot of discussion on this on the council, and there was strong support for it overall. There were a number of things we looked into. We looked into safety concerns, and we were pleased to see the walkway that's going to be there on the property. We had reverse car park measurements taken to make sure that was okay. One of the constraints that we did have, which you mentioned, was no permanent structures. Right, the building could not be expanded.
Right, not permanent structure, the pergola's permanent, no building with walls.
Right, no permanent building structure, right, and a pergola was mentioned, which from the council's perspective, we were fine with. But there was a desire to make sure that it was written in such a way that the building could not be expanded in its entirety and was more of an outdoor type setting. Other than that, there were no major concerns, so I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Chairman.
How wide is the resulting driveway, once you push the curb out, is it the width behind the parking spaces to the curb?
I can get that answer for you.
I think it's 20, well, I think it's 27 and a half feet. Still more than. And it's 25 feet on the south side of the lot between the spaces on the east side and the west side. But I'll let Doug say that.
You're asking the question of space on a car backing up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we specifically had the police department look at that and take a measurement that it was compliant.
I think it is 27 and a half feet though. That exceeds the minimum.
Well, I mean, we had the survey, so we could just take a look at the survey and subtract out. Assuming the yeah.
I think that's different.
You know, it's right here.
I'm not
Oh, is that
100% positive.
Marshall does show?
Now's the time.
What is sworn in? He's gonna double that.
You can scale it off the survey.
Yeah, I would do it
It
here.
was a measurement, so, I'm not.
This is,
It shows it clearly on the survey.
Yeah.
no, I know, I'm just, what scale is the survey? I'm looking. Probably one or
20 scale probably?
20, yeah. That's what it typically is. You have a 20 scale? Yeah, here it is, it's 30 scale. 30 scale?
30.
Scale as shown, yeah.
Well, I hate to say that my client is right, but it looks to be about 27 feet. We like to tease each other.
So it exceeds.
It's about 25 to 27 feet, so it's perfectly adequate width.
The ordinance is 24, so it's fine.
Right.
That we can put that on the record.
Any other board members? Question?
Oh, just one thing, what about the lighting? You have bollards, are they lit bollards?
No.
Okay, but they did say, the plan showed something about having lighting on the.
Yeah.
parking lot. Is that correct?
String lighting, like,
String lighting.
at the beginning, it said that the string lighting
So
was
it's just, it's
residential.
regular, well, it's LEDs these days.
It's basically like what we currently have outside hung between the posts. It's just gonna be hung inside.
I don't live in it during the day.
We're doing it, well.
You won't see them during the day.
No, they're lit during the day, but they're.
But you don't see them.
Yeah, you don't really see
Yeah.
them. Right.
Okay.
Anyone else?
How about on the walkway? Where does that walkway, basically it's like what it is now, right?
It's lit, so the walkway is currently the parking lot. So all we're doing is we're extending the curb line in front of our property out towards,
No, I mean on the side.
oh, it's,
Or just,
That's the borough.
yeah, that's the borough's property, and what we're doing is we're striping it. We're not making any changes to it, we're just striping it.
yeah, okay, I misunderstood.
And Ms. Bills, the reason we're striping is just to show it as an ADA accessible
I
path.
think it's great.
To the beach?
I assume so.
That's correct.
Was that a borough request?
Yes, it was.
ADA accessibility?
To the beach?
Not that we provide ADA accessibility, but that we stripe out, that we provide the ADA accessibility to our sidewalk, and that we stripe out that it continues to the beach.
Right.
Creating a path out.
On
Yep,
the north side is a,
on both sides.
The ADA accessible ramps that go over.
It is, it's all on the plan. Don't you guys look at the plan before we get here?
of course. Why don't we open to the public? Is there anyone here in the public that has a question about the testimony or a statement? Yes, please state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Karen Finkelstein.
Hold on, if you can come up, I need to swear you in first. Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you already give here tonight to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
And now, please state your name and spell your last for the record.
Karen Finkelstein, Finkelstein.
Is it C or K for Karen?
With a K.
I guess right.
And you're on Church Street?
Yeah, I'm on Church Street, 4 East Church Street. We are next door to Woody's property. So, I just was curious about, parking is at a premium for anyone who lives here year-round. I mean, it's not as bad as in the wintertime. Still, we have a lot of Airbnb kind of activities, so we're getting more year-round visitors, which is great. And I'm just wondering, there are no parking spaces being eliminated or in that lot that's across from the current outdoor dining area?
That was one of the conditions of the borough council, correct. We're not touching the parking.
Okay, and that belongs to the town, or that will be?
No, belongs to the town.
Okay. And then, how about the street parking itself? If you're coming out onto the street with this outdoor dining area, I assume you'll take some parking spaces.
We're not touching it. So if I can ask you to take a quick look at, I
The
don't.
new pergola is located within the aisle area that's actually way too large than it's supposed to be.
So this is the current.
This is the pergola area. There's the street. One over here.
So you're not actually, okay.
No.
And then a crosswalk will be added? Is that the plan?
Yes, we're repairing the crosswalk markings as needed.
Okay, well, that's great, because there's a lot of people going into the,
Hopefully a lot of people are coming into Woody's.
yeah, well, all the restaurants, I see, right. One day we have had it like that. Will this be used year-round or just in the summertime?
It depends, I mean, because it's not going to be heated, so.
Well, there may be those outdoor heaters that you see in a patio. It
Yeah,
won't be
I mean-
enclosed. There won't be any HVAC.
It'll be kind of like use like it is tonight, you know, if somebody chooses to sit out there, I think there's one table out there right now, but, you know, yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to sit out there, let them sit out there.
And then the heating that you currently have for outdoor, which most restaurants have that, that's all,
We used them for 1.5 years, and they became borderline disposable, and we removed them. They haven't been there for a year.
so there'll be no more propane.
Well, you
Storage.
can't have propane with a roof, I know that, right? I mean,
Oh, yes, you can.
You can, okay. Maybe we'll do something, I just don't know what, but it's not,
It won't be permanent.
Permanent.
It'll be a movable patio heater, the same way any outdoor restaurant is. There'll be no permanent heating.
Okay, and then where would the storage of the propane tanks be? Because I know in the past it's been a little bit,
well, we had it on the side of the building, and actually the town did ask us specifically to have that cage, that, like, do you know what those are? We had it, but since we removed the cage has been removed as well, and that was on the back side of the building. But that's no longer in existence.
so at this point, there's no plan for heating
No,
here either?
it's too expensive, number one.
Or closing the, like those garage door?
We can't.
Okay, so it's just outdoor year round.
I doubt year round, and I'm not being cute. I don't know if in February anyone's going to get that meeting.
Well, it's
Unless COVID is back. Right.
That's why.
Yeah, people did sit out there in February during COVID, but yes,
Okay.
no, I doubt it.
Right.
Right.
And the number of tables, the seating, what's your current seating capacity?
Outside right now, we have 7 picnic tables, we have 7 picnic tables, 5 4-tops, and 2 2-tops, which, depending on how many people sit in those spots, it could be viewed as 66 or 80. And to their point earlier, this is actually going to condense that spot even, make it even smaller, which would therefore eliminate how many number of seats based on what we have, but it will be less than what we currently have.
Okay. And then any live entertainment or live music?
We've done it in the past, as you probably know, we've done it 2 or 3 times lifetime. Basically during COVID, we haven't done it since. I don't even know whether we have approvals to do that or not, but we haven't crossed, that bridge. I doubt it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public? Care to be heard? If not, the public portion is now closed. Board members, discussion, motion?
Mr. Chairman, this basically legalizes what already has existed since COVID and has existed without any problems whatsoever. So I have no problem with it. I'm going to make a motion to approve it.
I'm happy to second it.
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Yep, I'll second.
Okay, Councilman Bieber? Yes. Ms. Bills?
Yes.
Chairman Cunningham?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Desormeaux? Mr. Lexstein?
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz? Yes. Mr. Zolina?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nice job.
It took a while, a year and a half.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Almost built to death.
That's it. Is there any other business before the board this evening? I think we've gone through our agenda. There's no other business before the board? Is there anyone in the public that would like to be heard on a different matter? If not, public portion is now closed. We have a motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
Oh, thanks.